Welcome, everybody out there in the internet, to episode 53 of Sis and Big Pop's Culture. Woo! As always, wow. I am Big Pop's Todd Turner, also known as Mosaic Fan Art.
And I am Sis, aka Hannah Jo. And together we're an adult daughter and father duo. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family friendly.
Family friendly, that's what we are.
Boop-a-da-bop, scoop-a-da-bow.
That should be our own new jingle. Hannah, give the lowdown. What do we do here?
So today we are going to chat about some nerd news. We're going to talk about the things that we've been watching in the movie theater and at home. We are going to... Pops is going to share his pull list with us. If you don't know what that is, don't stress about it. We'll explain it to you. Nothing to be stressed out about. And we are going to review Turning Red, the new Disney Pixar film, which has some mixed reviews out there in the interwebs. And we're going to tell you what we think and how we felt about it.
And how we felt about it. So, yeah.
I had feelings.
Well, I have feelings. Nothing more than feelings. All right,
I love
Hannah.
an emotion up in here, Dad. I need you to know it.
Me too. And I had some visceral emotions during that movie, but we'll talk about it when we get there.
I had to pause it and take a break multiple times.
Okay,
I was
stop.
like, I can't. Okay.
We'll talk about it later. We're not going to spoil that, so we probably will talk spoilers, but that'll be towards the end.
That'll be at the end.
Save it
you're
for the
safe now on our live people.
Right now, it is Nerd News. Hannah, do you want me to go first? Okay.
I have one piece of news.
That's hilarious. I don't have a lot. I don't think there's a lot out there. I'm still super crazy stoked for Moon Knight.
Yeah. Is it out now?
Piece come out? No, March 30th.
Oh, okay. So they released a new trailer because I had a Moon Knight piece of news. I said Moon Knight is out now? ?
No. But it's himself talking to himself. And they use different accents and everything. So,
man, Oscar Isaacs is just so good. I always say Oscar Isaacs. It's not Oscar Isaacs with an S. There's
more than one Oscars.
It's Oscar
Isaac. Oscars. What if Oscar Isaac got an Oscar?
It'd be sick.
Could he name it Isaac? Because it doesn't look like a person.
This is my Oscar Isaac.
This is my Isaac. This is my Oscar Isaac. Oscar Isaac. That's bad. So, funny. So that I don't know why I mentioned that, but apparently there's a new Puss in Boots movie coming out.
I think I saw that.
It's called Puss in Boots Last Wish. So
interesting. I only watched one of those.
Well, there's only one. This is the second.
Oh.
So there you go. So apparently, you know how cats are supposedly have 9 lives?
Yes.
Well, this is his 9th life. What do you do with your last life? So, yeah.
Love people well.
The cool thing is there's in the trailer, there's this huge fight with Goldilocks and the 3 bears. So it's like a ninja fight with 3 bears and Goldilocks with a bow staff, which is really funny. I don't know. It's the Shrek kingdom, I guess.
Shrek 2.
Which one was that?
Shrek True is Primo Shrek.
Is that the one?
Man.
Where she screams, where Snow White screams and all the animals come flying in. Was that the one with all
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. See,
Shrek
was that
2?
the one with the giant gingerbread man?
Yeah, where they turn humans and the fairy godmother sings "I Need a Hero."
Yeah, that was good.
That one is.
I like that one.
Very good.
Chef's kiss, as you would say.
Chef's kiss. Mwah.
All right. So
my piece of news. Can I tell you it?
Go ahead.
Miss Marvel is going to be a TV show, and it comes out June 8th.
Oh, man. I watched the trailer once.
The trailer looks phenomenal.
Okay. It reminded me a little bit of Scott Pilgrim.
It had very much,
It's comic book vibe.
Comic book vibe, and it was
It looked like the comic book too.
a teenage type vibe. Like,
it felt to me like they were really being true to the comic.
True to the essence of the comic. It seems like her origin is different.
Her origin is different.
But
it did look that way.
True to the, I think that makes a lot of sense. Like true to the essence.
She is Muslim, and her parents, want her to be extremely, faithful to their, and I think her brother is even a little bit of an extremist in that part, if you remember in the comic book.
Man, but one of them got in trouble a lot.
Yeah.
We read that a long time ago.
We need to reread it.
I remember enjoying it.
Oh, I loved it. I honestly thought going into it that it was going to be miserable.
That you were going to hate it.
And I loved it. I thought it was the best new comic book that Marvel had put out for an origin story with a realistic view since how they did Spider-Man. It felt like a new Spider-Man. Mm-hmm.
And because she's a teenager.
High school kid. Yeah. And so, yeah.
I hope that they keep the style through the TV show.
Like what you saw in the trailer.
Yeah, because there was a lot of stuff drawn on stuff drawn on it.
Yes.
And quote bubbles and
very much Scott Pilgrim-ish.
Yeah, it was fun.
Except Scott Pilgrim was supposedly supposed to be like a video game type thing. Mm-hmm. Whereas this is more
Challenger
straight up
approaches.
Yeah.
Like that type of vibe.
Or an anime.
Yeah.
I guess it was supposed to be an anime. Yeah. But it did have video. Anyway, so yeah, it looked cool. I like that.
That's my one piece of news. I was on Instagram and saw the poster and was like, no way. And so then, I was on Facebook. And I saw the poster and I was like, that's sick. And then I sent it to you. And then I scrolled down and Gabe had posted the poster. And I was like,
nice. Well, he works for Disney, right?
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot.
Stoked.
I did see where Alligator Loki. Did you finish watching the Loki show?
No.
Oh, so there are variants of Loki.
Yeah, there's an old man and there's a young man and there's
an alligator.
Alligator,
and
like
an alligator.
Frog
Loki.
Thor.
Like an alligator, I guess so. Amphibian. But anyway, so Alligator Loki has his own comic book now. However, it's only on the Marvel app, which I ain't got because I ain't paying for it.
I didn't know Marvel had an app.
Yeah, everybody's got an app. So
it's like everybody's got a streaming service now.
It's digital exclusive. It's only on the Marvel Unlimited app. And so apparently an issue came out. I don't even know what it's about, but I saw that and I thought there might be some people out there who would be interested in that. I don't know. I don't think I would. It's probably smart because I wouldn't buy it. I mean, so yeah. P.S. I was really let down. They really didn't do anything with all those Animal Avengers unless it's going to happen eventually. No, it felt sort of like a filler issue that got me excited for something that never happened.
Thor. What is he called?
Throg.
Okay. I was putting the F at the beginning instead of the G at the end.
TH. Throg.
Yeah. Instead of frog. Yeah. Okay. That's a better.
Apparently, we're going to get a little bit of an origin story in Ted Lasso season 3 of Rebecca and her husband. The breakup.
No.
We're going to. Apparently, that was hinted at an interview that Coach Beard, I think his name's Brendan Hunt. They interviewed him and Ted Lasso and Brett Goldstein. And basically all Brett Goldstein did was say the F word all the way through it, but through the interview. But Roy Kent. Okay, so my last
piece, I literally wrote, Roy Kent is in this. Because I thought that the guy at the beginning of the Miss Marvel was Roy Kent, and then I had to go back and rewatch it. And I got so excited. I wrote, Roy Kent is in this in all caps, and he's not.
And then you had to, he's not.
And then I marked it out, and it made me sad.
So I read something today that made me happy and sad at the same time.
Okay, lay it on me.
It was the script layout for the sequel to John Carter that we'll never get. So,
man,
because
we saw that. We went to Winchester to see that.
Okay, P.S. I don't care what anybody says. That was a good movie.
It was a dynamic movie.
It was a good movie. The issue was terrible marketing by Disney.
They shouldn't have named it John Carter. It should have been called The Princess of Mars.
Yeah, because the sequel was going to be entitled The God of Mars. So, yeah, it shouldn't have been called John Carter. It was absolutely horrible.
It makes me think of
marketing.
Man, I don't even remember what the movie's called. Live, Die, Repeat. That's not what that movie's called. But that's what that movie's called.
The Day After Tomorrow? No. What was it called?
Exactly.
I can't remember.
But they remarketed it as Live, Die, Repeat. That's the biggest thing. That should have been.
Well, that was better.
Yeah, because that
should have been what they called it to begin with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's one of my 12 DVDs.
Oh, with all the secret Doctor Who writings.
Yeah, and it literally is in giant letters, Live, Die, Repeat, and that's what it says on the spine. I don't even know what the title of the movie is anymore. I could Google it.
Me either. That's crazy pants because I love that movie.
That movie's good.
And I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan, but I really enjoyed that. I thought it was well done.
Edge of Tomorrow.
So, Edge of Tomorrow, yeah. What the heck does that even mean?
Awful title.
That's an awful name.
Live, Die, Repeat. So much better. Like Princess of Mars is so much better than John Carter, and that movie was fun. I remember.
Who knows John Carter? Nobody knows who that is unless you're an Edgar Rice Burroughs fan. I read them all.
Yeah, because we went and saw that movie, and then because they were for free on Amazon, and you downloaded all of them and read them all.
Well, no, it was like
$1 or something.
Wackadoodle app. No, it was free, but it wasn't Amazon. It was
I thought it was on Kindle.
Just a library app. Something like that.
Well, I remember, I remember you telling me about The Door, where they got stuck in the thing and they had to throw all of this food through the door so that they would live for 15 years or something.
Oh, see, I don't even remember that now.
Okay, never mind. Because I think about that sometimes.
I got it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there was a lot. I read a bunch of those, but so. Anyway, yeah, that was 10 years ago.
10 years ago?
That was 10 years ago. Yes.
I was in high school. I was a wee little bag.
I think that, I wonder if they still have the rights to that because I think that would make a really good show. I don't know. I guess pretty soon all the immature stuff's going to Disney. So
I wonder if that's what it is too. I wonder if they tried to make it too kid friendly.
No, because it's not really that bad anyway.
Well, there was that I remember marketing. That creature being weird.
Well, that's a creature, the Martians. Yeah, that's just the way they were. I don't think that was it. I think the issue was it was just marketed terrible.
Yeah.
So that's about it. There's not a whole lot of news. I mean, I did realize that the guy who did Free Guy is going to be the one taking over doing Deadpool 3. And he said, I'm the man to get Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds on the screen together.
I believe that.
And did you see the rumor that everybody is congratulating Daniel Radcliffe?
Yes, on being cast as Wolverine. I did see that.
And he's like,
I don't know what you were talking about. Me as Wolverine?
But I'm up for it.
Sure.
Prove me wrong, he says. Yeah, I was like, what? Harry Potter? Well, I mean, we already got Twinkle Pants as Batman. Why not Harry Potter as
Twinkle Pants? Twinkle Pants.
I don't know what his real name.
What was glitters, Dad?
Glitter face. I don't know. I knew it was something like that.
Twinkle
Which, by the way,
Pants.
I think it was a great movie. We've already talked about that. I thought he did really good. And you're right. His Bruce Wayne was
His Bruce Wayne was awful.
It was, but we talked about this. He's young.
Okay, well,
he's not grizzled.
I'm not a knowledgeable year 1, year 2 person. I am casual DC viewer. His Bruce Wayne was weird.
Hey, casual DC viewer. What are you watching on the tube?
Okay, so I went and saw Death on the Nile in theaters by myself. So I took myself on a little date night. Went and had.
And then it snowed.
And then it snowed, and I called Dad on my way home because it had snowed 3 inches while I was in the in the movie. It's like, Dad.
Hilarious.
But man, it was really good.
Really?
It was really good.
So was it as good as was it a lot of dialogue?
Oh, it's a Hercule Poirot murder novel. It was so much dialogue. You learned backstory about him and about his mustache because his mustache is massive. And so
was he the dude on the train one too?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah, so
it's the same guy. Was it the same guy who played it in the other one?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, I like the train one. What's that called? What was it? Murder on the Orient Express.
This is Death on the Nile, meaning there's more than one. Dun, dun, dun. Who's gonna not make it? And who are the bad guys?
Don't tell me.
The only person who giggled throughout the entire movie. Like, there were just some funny parts, and I just giggled at it. And I was the only person who was laughing. And I was like, okay.
People probably went, what a flipping weirdo up there.
Yeah, this girl's by herself. She don't know. But I was having a good time. I was being very careful to not be very loud, because that is not a problem I have in the movie theater. I've never gotten shushed by other watchers.
Are you kidding me?
Ever.
People right next to you.
Never in my life has that happened. Never.
Mom won't even sit next to you or me.
These blasphemous lies that you're telling
there are people in our immediate family who don't want to be 2 rows beside us. So it is what it is.
Trevin sometimes is like, babe, shh. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Quit shutting.
It's just really funny.
Yeah. Have you watched anything else?
Okay, so Final Space.
What?
Final Space. It is a TV show. It's an animated TV show. It's about 20 minutes an episode, and it's a cartoon. It's on HBO. And it is this guy who is imprisoned on a spaceship doing manual labor for 5 years. And it's kind of grown up. So it's not like it's an animated cartoon. It's not for kids. It's kind of Bravest Warriors vibey.
Gotcha.
Do you remember me talking about that?
Is it animated?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's animated. And so there's this guy, Gary, and there's this bad guy, the Lord Commander, who's trying to open a portal to Final Space that's going to suck in the Earth and kill everyone. And
this other guy's just clean.
And
he's
Gary's no, he's like, he fixes like satellites in like the far distance of space.
Gotcha. Maintenance guy. Yeah. Maintenance man.
But and so like he's stuck on this prison ship, and he has this like thing called Hugh who talks to him, and who's like Hal. Hal.
Oh,
and
yeah. Which is funny because I watched that.
You watched Space Odyssey?
Yeah, 2001. I sure did.
So the guy's name is Hugh, and then there's this robot companion that he has that keeps him from going insane. He's like, I'm his personal anti-insanity robot friend, like to help him like not go crazy in space. His name's Kevin.
There was a movie, The Black Hole, and the guy had robots that talked to him and kept him like we're friends or whatever. It's
David
like
Tennant is the Lord Commander, Dad. David Tennant is the voice of Lord Commander.
Nice.
And it's just really funny. Gotcha. It's just very, very funny.
We need to watch Good Omens and talk about that.
Man, I've wanted to watch that, but I don't know if it's my vibe.
I watched the first episode.
Did you like it? I couldn't tell if I was going to like it or if it was going to make me feel uncomfy.
Both. Yeah, both. But I liked it. I thought it was good. But I guess they got a new season coming out, and I know David Tennant's in that.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's
the bad guy. He's the demon.
There's this alien that his name's Gary Goodspeed, and he finds this green alien named Mooncake that he thinks he names him Mooncake, and he thinks that they're good friends. But Mooncake like is a planet destroyer, and like he goes chocolatey,
sort of
like blows up.
Sort of like Peppermint Butler. Everybody thinks he's such a sweetheart, but he's really like works for hell or something, or the demons or whatever.
There's a cat guy named Avocado, and it's just really good. It's just really good.
Well, that sounds fun. I might just put it on. And take a look at it.
It's for grown-ups. It's on HBO Max. But it was really funny.
You're never going to guess what I started watching on HBO Max.
And I started watching Doom.
What? Go ahead.
I started rewatching Doom.
Me too. I started rewatching Doom because it's back on, and I'm on my Oscar Isaac rant.
I was going to say, you should watch Dune now that it's up.
I did. I started, but it's in the background. We've been watching a lot of basketball because it's about March Madness time, and you know how Jemima likes basketball. Yep. So I've been upstairs working on mosaics while she's got basketball in the living room. But apparently, I did not realize this, but after there was an interview with Ryan Reynolds and Taika Waititi talking about their first movie together. Do you know what their first movie together was?
Adam?
Green Lantern.
Oh, yes. So, that's where he met. That's where he met Blake Lively.
Yeah, so I started watching that.
That movie's awful.
I mean, I know, but it's sort of found new life on streaming services. Of course, I did watch 2001: A Space Odyssey. Great movie that ends very weirdly.
There's a bone.
And the bad thing, huh?
There's a bone that's thrown.
Yeah, that bone he picks up and he beats another caveman with it. And that's, I guess, the ascension from caveman to man, being able to kill somebody.
There's a bone, and then there's like a floaty person in a ball.
The ball is like a pod. Open the pod bay door, pal.
I need you to know the only thing I know about that
I can't do that.
The only thing I know about 2001: A Space Odyssey is when Phineas and Ferb did an episode and just showed animated clips of the characters in 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Well,
so all I know is that there's a bone that's thrown because Ferb throws a bone.
Yeah, that happens. A lot of it, I thought it was extremely well done for when it was written, but people either love it or hate it. They consider it like an art film. It is by Stanley Kubrick. And they make 2010 A Space Odyssey that explains, because 2001 is out there in some aspects, but you come to find out you understand more why the computer wiped everybody out on board. So yeah, the computer was programmed to not reveal all the aspects of the mission. And once the humans started figuring out what was going on, the computer didn't know how to keep the aspects hidden. So it
killed everybody,
wiped out the people.
Man. Yeah. I remembered two other things that I did.
What?
So there's the YouTube channel Wormwood that I watch a lot. Mm-hmm, it's the, I hadn't.
Oh, I got another one I watched.
Okay, good. We'll both tell them. I watched Wormwood. I hadn't sat down and watched any of the episodes since December, so I had a lot to catch up on. And there are a lot of cool things that are coming out. And they're going to relaunch their modular gaming table system. And now I'm like, do I have $1,000 to buy a table? The answer is no. I have a perfectly good table too, and it's the table that I ate at when I was a child, so I don't need a new table. But the table is so cool. Also.
I'm listening.
I started Citizen Kane.
Oh, it's like supposed to be one of the...
it's awful.
I've never watched it.
It's awful.
Oh, it's like considered the best movie of all time.
I know. Trevin and I were trying to figure out a movie to watch, and we were like looking at like...
a movie that...
old, because on HBO, there's a place where you can go and like see all of the old movies, or like all of the like classics, and one of them was Citizen Kane, and he's like, what's this? I'm like, that's supposed to be like the best movie ever in the entire world. And we started watching it, and like 40 minutes in, I was like, can we not watch this anymore?
I tell you, a movie
not my favorite.
That's like one of Nate's favorites. That's an old one. It's 12 Angry Men.
I enjoy 12 Angry Men. 12 Angry Men is a play.
You saw it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
12 Angry Men is a play. Just like No Exit. No Exit is a famous movie, but it's also a play.
I don't know what No Exit is.
No Exit is about...
Cats.
Cats.
So is Cats.
Awful. No Exit and 12 Angry Men are in no... 12 Angry Men is really cool.
It's really good. I didn't think I'd like it.
It's a phenomenal movie.
It's about...
jury.
It's a jury, and the one guy has doubt. And
he
then
makes everybody, and then people are like, we want to get out of here. It's really warm. I got baseball tickets. It's raining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. I enjoyed it. Henry Fonda, I think. Was he in that?
I have no idea.
I think so. All right. So, are you ready? Mm-hmm. So my brother Troy, shout out to my brother Troy Turner.
Hi, Uncle Troy.
He sent me a message saying, I watched he called it Beerzilla in Mount Sterling. And I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, it's your all's Bigfoot. It's called Bearilla. It is on YouTube.
Bearilla.
It's called Bearilla. And it is it's by this group called the Boogeymen, and they do all these cryptids and like urban legends. And literally it's Mount Sterling, Kentucky.
You're lying.
Not only that, they interview a local historian. Shout out to Chip Manley.
No.
Yes.
That's sick.
I was like, what? I know this guy.
He taught me.
It was so funny. So I showed the ladies at work, and they scan Mount Sterling, and they show like the streets, and they show people walking across the street, and they're like, I know that guy. So it's like, I don't know who it is. I was like, but yeah, so it's about Bearilla, which is the Mount Sterling Bigfoot version. So apparently,
have you seen Bearilla, Dad?
No, that's 45 minutes long. I'm like, daggone it, Troy, you need to do Hillbilly Ghost Hunters. That's what we need to do. And then have a cooking show after.
I'm just saying, the Turner Cooking Show, we've been talking about that since I was a child.
We should do it. I mean, we got a podcast. We may as well do a Turner Cooking Show.
At this point, the production value is definitely different, but
a whole lot easier, a lot cheaper. All right.
I mean, my iPhone does everything. Like all those like commercials, like this is shot on iPhone. I'm like, I got this.
Yeah, I can do it. What do you think?
We got this.
People know anything. That's like people going, oh, I think I can make that mosaic at home. I'm like, good luck. Anyway, good luck.
Good luck. I think it would be fun to learn how to do the solder stuff.
Oh, yeah. Lead cane. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do that.
Oh, I think it would be so fun.
This is enough work.
I think it'd be so fun.
It's just not my style. It's not what I do.
I get TikToks of girls doing it.
Like girls you and the flipping TikTok.
Okay, I gave up TikTok for Lent, and so I haven't watched a TikTok. And good. I'm going stir crazy.
Go. You're going talk crazy. TikTok.
I'm going. What I noticed is I try to turn my brain off very often. That is, TikTok is how I turn my brain off. And so I'm just kind of sitting going, I don't have any way to turn my brain off.
I have been in the morning not looking at social media, and instead I'm in the middle of writing a devotion based on Batman.
Yeah, so Batman. Part of the family.
For the comic convention. So
that's so fun.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, that's it. What now?
Pull list.
Comics. Yeah, explain what a pull list is. Andy.
So, friends, Pops is a collector of comic books. He collected comic books when he was a young one and is collecting them again as a grown one. And what he does is he has a pull list. And a pull list is a list of comics that the proprietor of your local comic book shop keeps on hand so that they can pull from their inventory the comics that you are collecting / ensure that the comic you are collecting is ordered so you can have all of the comics that you want to read. So that they are there for you.
Too many.
So what Dad does is he reads a plethora of comics, as he keeps saying, too many. What he does for us is he creates a curated list from the week of the things that he has pulled. He gives us 2 DC, 2 Marvel, and 2 Independents. We say Independents because they're not like the big 2, but man, Image and Boom Studios and Aftershock and IDW, like they have some like big names out there, like not stuff that you're like seeing at the movie theater, but like pretty big stuff in the comic book world. And then he also has for us a book of the week, which is his number 1. And it could be any of the different options thus shared with you.
So I'm going to do, and since we didn't read a book, I'm going to splurge on a couple extras today. So
okay. How many are we getting?
Yeah. 2 books of the week.
2 books of the week?
Double books of the week.
One honorable mention, or are they both books of the week?
We can do an honorable mention. That's fine. I don't care. Yeah.
Dad, this is your show.
We make the rules. We make the rules.
In no way am I up in here like, I'm sorry, but you're not allowed to have two. I don't care.
Nice. Well, my first book is a DC book. It is issue 9, Superman, Son of Kal-El. I have talked about it before because the writer is Tom Taylor, and he also writes Nightwing, and there has been a crossover between Nightwing and Superman.
The crossover.
A crossover is when another character comes into another book, basically. So,
like if you're thinking, like, an easy way for me to think about it is The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody on Deck. No,
there you go.
That's so Sweet Life. That's so Raven, Hannah Montana crossover episodes where they're like each one's in a different episode.
Yeah,
but it's still a Hannah Montana episode. It's just Raven's in it.
Oh, is that right? I didn't know there was such a thing. But yeah, they do that. They do it on the CW all the time with like the Flash
and
Supergirl, and
there's a new Superman like a TV show right now, like Superman and Lois or something like that.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Tried to watch it. I just didn't get into it. I don't know. I might watch it.
Simmons on like the actress Simmons from
her.
She directs some of them.
Oh, cool.
She directs episodes.
Yeah, I don't know what her name is. Well,
I follow her on Instagram.
This is. Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, all those are coming to Disney Plus.
I like
all
her.
The what do you call it? Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I like those show. That was the thing that I used to do on Friday nights. I would sit and watch it in my room, and I'd put on a face mask.
Oh, really?
I'd put on a face mask, and I'd sit and I'd watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Why? Were you trying to scare somebody in a mask? Why would you wear a mask? What are you talking about?
This is when I first moved to Bowling Green, and I felt very cool and / had a lot of friends and things to do on Friday nights. And so I would.
You're funny. Can I talk about my comic books?
I'm sorry. Can I talk about my comic? I have something to say, and I think you'll like it.
I know it.
Superman, Son of Kal-El, issue 9.
Yeah, so this is Superman. This is the Sun and Nightwing, and they're trying to figure out who's trying to kill off superheroes. It's the art is fantastic.
What do you like about it?
I like the art is so clean. It's like big pictures and it like fluid. It moves. This is a story. I talked about this before. I read one of the issues of Superman, Son of Kal-El, where Lex Luthor, they have another super team, and they killed one of their own members and made it look like he died against Superman.
Yes, I remember you telling me that.
Same thing. They do the same thing in this one.
Ugh.
So, I love this. Nightwing talks with Lois and asks her to be the editor of The Truth, the magazine that.
Cool. What'd she say?
I don't know. She hasn't decided.
She says no, thank you. I like my job.
Right. Well, I don't know. She hasn't decided, but so this is really good. I'm liking the story, and I think it's going to come to a climax at the end of next issue. I think there's just another one or whatever.
Cool. Okay. Awesome.
So my next is a independent. It's by Aftershock. And this is a comic book that I collected a while ago, and then it stopped. It completed the run. It was called We Live. It was the one that had like a QR code in the front that you could click on, and it played music.
Oh,
it had a soundtrack
cool.
For the comic. Well, they're starting out a new edition. So they have 2 books that came out called it's We Live, Age of the Paladins. Number 1, white and black. So there's a white and a black. Basically, they're 2 stories that you can read in either order. The thing about it is, we love a fold-out cover. Fold-out covers
That's
are
huge.
Awesome. It's huge.
That's sick.
And it continues the story of what goes on in the world. By these creatures coming and the world's going to end and kind of stuff. And these are the paladins that are trying to protect the people that remain. So yeah, that's been really good.
That remain.
My My second DC book is Detective Comics 1056. I've been ranting and raving about Detective Comics because this is the Arkham Asylum going crazy thing, where they not an Arkham
You
Asylum,
have talked
an
about that
Arkham
a
Tower.
lot. You're really enjoying
And
it.
I told
I'm so
you
glad.
they had a inmate who thought she was Harley Quinn the whole time. Remember, I told you that?
Mm-hmm.
It is Harley Quinn. It was her all along. So,
I'm this person. No, you're not. Sweet
yeah,
girl.
it's like, oh no, I really am. No, really, she was all along.
Dang.
So everything is falling apart. The issue is that the mayor of Gotham, who had seen them produce such good, being able to help all these supervillains rehabilitate, his wife suffers from depression and
he sent her to Arkham.
He sent her there as she wanted to go there for treatment. So now that was
they have
all
the
a
mayor's
sham,
wife,
and the mayor's wife is there. And she's carrying on a conversation with the psycho pirate who we talked about. He was the one who can make everybody feel different ways. And
she's like, change me.
At the end of this, the Scarecrow with his fear toxin has Nightwing and like throws Nightwing. And Batman's been missing from this for this whole entire time. He back. He swoops in, saves Nightwing.
He back.
But I've mentioned this before, the backup story called House of Gotham about this young kid who has grown up with all these villains, literally comes to blows with Batman and the Huntress in this issue.
That's not good.
He's been stealing food to protect for people he's protecting. So, and at the end, Batman finally said, we made a mistake. We were wrong. You can keep doing this, but once this is over, you need to stop. And so
once what is
I'm
over?
wondering, because what's happened is this backup story has taken place in the history of Batman. So there's been different things that have happened in Batman.
Okay.
Like there's been this thing called, one time Batman got his back broken. So that happened. He got a new Robin. So this has followed, this kid has grown up with Batman. He's now full beard, mustache. So this time is called No Man's Land, which is where everyone had just given up and they left. And it's like everybody fend for yourself in Gotham.
Gotcha. Okay.
And he had been ravaging for food for people that were his followers, basically. Okay. And so I'm just interested to see where this is going to go. What's going to happen with this? Yeah.
Interesting.
So, it was a tough one. My first Marvel book is these two Marvel books. Both are Devil Reign books.
I don't know what that means.
So, Devil's Reign is an event, what they would call an event, which is REIGN. Yes, this is where Kingpin has outlawed superheroes in New York.
How?
Anyone with a mask is thrown in jail because he's mayor.
How'd he become mayor?
A long time ago. But he's rerunning for mayor, and he's using the Purple Man. So if anybody's watched Jessica Jones with the Purple Man.
Oh, and he makes people do things.
Yeah. Oh. The biggest thing that has really gotten under Kingpin's nerve is that at one time, the Daredevil got the Purple Man's children. He has children. The Purple Man has children. And they wiped everyone's memory of who was Daredevil. And Wilson Fisk has like files on all these people. And his file on Daredevil is blank. He can't read it. So he keeps a piece of the Purple Man's pinky in like something or whatever. Yeah, weird. But he wishes he could remember, and he does. So he remembers that Matt Murdock is Daredevil.
Oh, no.
In this book, at the end is like Wilson Fisk from the Daredevil TV show. He finds who he thinks is Matt Murdock, but thanks to comic books, it's Matt Murdock's twin who really didn't even exist. He wished himself into existence.
I remember about Matt Murdock's twin. You talked to me about that, and I was like, really?
Yeah, it's comic books. So he beats
Cardor
the tar out of him.
Man.
No, like physical, like for like 4 pages. So,
dude,
it leaves at the end. You think he's probably dead,
but he's a bad mama jamma. Kingpin is a
it's
bad
just like
mama jamma.
Brutal.
Okay, so that's what it is. What books are in it?
This is Daredevil issue 5 of 6. It's a miniseries, but they're doing crossovers like Spider-Man. Spider-Man has one. That's Superior 4 that I talked to you about with Dr. Octopus. There's Villains for Hire. This issue is my second Marvel book. Is called, it's a Devil Reign one-shot called Moon Knight.
You are into Moon Knight right now.
Well, so Moon Knight is a superhero, and he's thrown in jail. And what happens in this Moon Knight issue 1, which is just a one-shot. That's what they call it, just one shot.
Moon Knight, Devil's Reign one-shot.
Number one shot. Yeah, it's number 1. You come to find out that the guards are running like a fight club for the supervillains and superheroes that are in this place.
First rule about Fight Club. We don't talk about Fight Club.
So Moon Knight ends up getting himself into this little fight thing and goes up against this guy who's hasn't been beaten. And while they're fighting, there are flashbacks to Moon Knight before he was captured. So Moon Knight in his comic book runs something called the Midnight
Midnights of Madness
Shelter or something. I can't remember now. I knew it until now, but it's like the Midnight Shelter or something like that, where people would come and they would ask Moon Knight to help them with their problems that they have. Like, there's a vampire after me, or there's a bad guy after me, or my landlord's kicked me out and he's evil, or whatever. So Moon Knight, Midnight Mission. I can't remember. So what happens is there's this lady who has a child with like a villain, and he threatens to come and get the girl when he gets out of jail.
Nope.
And this whole entire thing while she's talking to Moon Knight.
So he gets thrown in jail so that he
office.
Can get this guy?
He's like, I let them arrest me.
Yeah.
he goes,
watch out.
He goes, yeah. I didn't get arrested,
ladies and gentlemen.
I wanted to get arrested. And he beats the snot out of him. And he says, if you even think about contacting her or this daughter, I will come and get you.
We're gonna tussle.
Then he escapes.
Spooky.
Yeah.
Then he escapes. Yeah. LOL. Moon Knight. Moon Knight.
My book
Moon Knight. You have one more independent.
Oh, well, let me do the independent. This independent is 7 Secrets issue 15. We've talked about this before.
Oh, we love them. What's that by again?
This is by Boom Studios. It's also by Tom Taylor. And it is coming to an end soon.
End or end of arc end?
End. No.
Because he was raised in the Feywild, which is crazy.
Right. And so it's been long enough. The guy with the porcelain face is bad.
Yes.
And he was the son. I mean, so anyway, this is really wrapping things up. He has taken the bad guy has taken the box that destroys countries into the fairyland. And apparently there is a demon that grows up and destroys something. And that was one of the secrets. And so now we're coming to an end. And you come to find out that Casper, at the end of this, there was the heavier guy who wanted to be a carrier.
Because it was the guy, yes. But he let go of the case.
And he let go of the case, but he ended up being he wasn't a carrier. He ended up being a protector of the carrier or whatever.
It's a keeper and a
a carrier. I can't remember. He wasn't a keeper. He was anyway. So he dies in this issue, protecting Casper.
Oh man!
And fights, beats the snot out of. But anyway, and
man,
at the
Bummer.
end, Casper gives him the seventh case, and he's holding it, and he's dying, and they go, "We have to go." And he reaches to get the case, and Casper's mom says, "We don't need the case. You are the seventh secret." Bum, bum, bum.
We knew it.
We knew it.
We knew it.
Is that they tease that Casper dies in this, like the main. So I don't know. Anyway, here are my book of the week. Do you want to do? Let me do the honorable mention first.
Okay. Honorable mention
is Radiant Red.
Okay,
So
not Radiant Black.
No, this is a spinoff, and it's a good place to hop on because it is a 5-issue book. Radiant Red was the first Radiant mentioned that wasn't Radiant Black, and she was the one that we talked about before who robbed a bank because her fella had all these debts and people were coming to get them.
Yes.
And so this follows her story. And it is, she is Asian, of Asian descent. So this is written by I believe, the author, she is Asian.
Cool.
So we get a good
understanding
for this. And this
it's by what?
Image Comics. So this is really good. It follows this young teacher.
Cool. We love teachers.
She's now being blackmailed by the mob or somebody who knows who she is.
Hate the mob. Hate blackmail.
I like this book. I love Radiant Black, and I will probably. This wasn't on my pools, but my comic book folks
they know
that
you
I collect Radiant Black and put that in there.
That's smart.
So this wasn't in my pool, but this is book of the week.
Book of the week is the book of the week. What is
this? Is Punisher issue 1.
No, so a new Punisher.
New Punisher, and he's got a new logo and everything.
I want to see.
The new logo.
Yeah. Is it not like the new logo on the thing?
It's not the skull and crossbones because Marvel is trying to distance themselves from the skull and crossbones because so many people have taken that and done weird things with it. So his new symbol.
Oh, it's creepy. It's like a devil.
Like a demon skull.
Demon skull.
So they recount his origin is told extremely small about his wife and children being murdered during a mob shootout.
Man.
And then what happens is it is just the Punisher wiping people out. Villains bad, left and right. And that's all it is. And you come to find out that he is the head now of the Hand, which is the evil ninjas in everything. The Hand is bad.
Why?
Super bad. You find out at the very end, it's because somehow they have either cloned or reanimated or something, but he goes to bed with his wife at the end. So she's alive. I don't know how they've done this.
Dude.
Yeah. So anyway.
Dude.
That's my book.
I never watched the new TV show.
Water got dropped on it. Which is disappointing.
I'm sorry.
Okay. The TV show was fantastic. I did not see season 2, but season 1 was amazing. Yeah.
I'm looking at the Punisher logo and the new one.
Yeah. The new Punisher logo.
There's a
good splash page. We talked about what a splash page was. Mm-hmm. That's where you you
open it up and it's both.
Several. Yeah, there were several. Like here is a picture of him. I'll show if you're on the interweb.
Oh, yeah. In the outfit.
Yeah.
With the horns.
Yeah. This is if I'm not mistaken, written by Jason Aaron's, who does Avengers and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Man, I remember the movie. I watched the movie.
I liked the movie. A lot of people gave it down the road, but John Travolta was the villain.
Yep. I remember watching the movie with you. Except we watched the movie on. Remember when movies were on cable? We watched the movie on cable.
I remember. Remember
that,
That's
Dad?
hilarious.
Remember cable
movies? It was cut,
movies?
probably.
No, yeah. So which is why I was allowed to watch it, because it was on cable. Which is the first time I ever watched V for Vendetta. I watched V for Vendetta on cable.
That's just bad because of the violence, don't you think? The blood.
There's a lot of curse words in that movie.
I guess I don't pay attention. Yeah.
It's British.
Anyway, that's my comic books.
We are going to talk Turning Red now.
Now, spoilers.
So if you are hanging with us, no one is. But if you pop back in, Turning Red spoilers ahead.
And if you're listening on the
interwebs and haven't checked it out, spoilers ahoy.
So Turning Red is a new Pixar movie that is on
new
Disney
Pixar.
Plus. It is PG, correct?
PG.
And
it is a coming of age story.
A young, a 13-year-old Asian girl who is able to turn into a panda when her emotions take over.
When her any emotion feels big.
Any emotion feels big, and it is about her and her relationship with her mom. A cultural relationship, like you said, coming of age. It literally, did you hear what year it takes place in?
92?
I think it was 2009.
Was it 2002, 2012?
2002, something like that. No, 2002, something like that.
It was 2002.
And she has a group of friends, and they all want to go to a boy band concert, and how they raise money to do that, and with a panda, with her turning into a panda.
Yeah.
So I would like to say my first impression.
Okay.
I started watching this movie. I watched the first 15 minutes of the movie up until the part where the girl goes and is making her statement, a prayer to the ancestors, which I get. And I was like, I can't stand her character. Didn't like her at all.
I loved this little girl.
Okay, well, let me finish.
Okay.
I came back, rewatched that, and then continued, and I love the movie. I really think the movie is really, really good. Hannah, there's issues in the movie with a lot of peeps out there. Apparently, I didn't know this was a deal.
This is such a big deal.
The ladies who I work with are saying, yeah.
Ladies with your work are saying what?
Because they're like reading all over the internet.
That it doesn't uphold. The thing that I'm seeing over and over again is people are mad about, I don't know how to say, like, are mad that she's a teenager.
Okay, here's the deal. Here's what, the only part that I got cringy and I literally turned it off was with the mom.
Oh,
the mom showing up and taking her to the.
Yes. Okay, so y'all.
So this mother in this movie is. Yeah, go ahead. This
is to me the most accurate representation of puberty for girls that I've ever seen ever. Like, and I was trying to think about movies about teenage adolescents that aren't strictly for teenage girls. Like, so of course, you think American Girl and stuff like that, but that's for girls. Like, a boy's not going to sit down.
This is an analogy of the red lotus blossoming.
I don't think so. But like, her mom is so cool about it. Her mom is so, I would have been embarrassed too because it's embarrassing, but her mom like shows up with a hot water bottle and has all of these different products for her. And it's like, do you need ibuprofen? Are you okay?
That is what is, here's the deal. That's why I say this movie is not for small children.
It's a PG movie. It's not for small children.
Understood. But you're right. I think a lot of parents will go into this movie saying, oh, it's Pixar, it's PG. My 7-year-old will be okay with it. And I'm like, I don't know about that.
I think
for a teenage, I think it's totally fine. It's like, really good.
Late fourth grade to fifth grade, I think is as a great way to like sit down and talk about like you're becoming, because puberty is happening earlier and earlier now as a developmental stage.
I got you that. I think a lot of the issues is first of all, the mother was extremely overbearing, controlling, and that I didn't like. I thought that was really, and you come to find out because her mom was the same way.
Yeah.
You could tell that.
They loved each other.
They did. But I don't know. The lying, the daughter lies a lot.
She feels like she has to, which is not an excuse. Which is not an excuse.
Right.
But what teenage kid doesn't feel like they have to lie to their parents every now and then? Like, not to say it's appropriate or okay, and it happens.
Mm-hmm. Right. I'm saying I agree with that wholeheartedly. I don't lie to your parents. That's not good.
It's
hopefully,
smart.
But here's the deal.
You'll get found out.
Her mom, yeah, exactly. That's why she lied to her, because of the way the mother worked. But that doesn't make it right. Neither one of them were right. And the dad, have a backbone, first of all. I didn't know if this was Asian culture that I'm not familiar with.
I think it might be part of it. Like, I think there's I'm not in no way an expert on Asian culture. This is specifically Chinese culture, because there's another person in the friend group who's Korean. So there's a difference between.
And this takes place in Toronto, Canada.
Mm-hmm, which, yeah. So I do believe that honoring parents and the collectivistic mindset is much more important in Asian cultures than in Western cultures.
Yeah. So what happens is, we didn't really finish this. So what happens is, she becomes a giant red panda, literally. And you come to find out the history was that during a war, when all the men were out fighting, this ancestor, I can't remember what her name was.
I don't know.
But gifted the females of this family the ability to turn into a giant red panda
to protect themselves.
Protect their family.
Yeah.
And you come to find out that it happens to every female in this family line. Mm-hmm. So the mom. And what happens is that if you do this ritual, you can contain the spirit of the panda in this thing, like a brooch, or
a hair clip, or a pin,
or a pendant, earrings, or something like that. Mm-hmm. If you decide not to, then you have the ability to turn in and out of that, depending upon if you learn how to control the spirit of the panda. And that's what I was getting at. The whole time they were like, we've got to get rid of this. And I was like, why? Embrace the panda.
Well, it's what the family has decided is inappropriate. That is
right.
And so to me, as like in my field of work, it was a lot of, okay, well, we don't talk about emotions. We
don't talk about Bruno. No.
I again really enjoyed that it was an honest depiction of puberty for girls. Like
I agree.
Her mom finding the
when they go to parties
and
that was hilarious. And here you go.
Hysterical.
So it's like her hormones started to kick in, and she started drawing. She liked boys, and she started drawing pictures of this guy at the
with
Dairy Mart or
giant muscles and a mermaid tail with hearts.
Yeah. I don't think she did. I think she drew two different things, and she laid them on the tape on the counter, and she had ripped them out, and that's how it looked.
It looked like he had a mermaid tail. It cracked me up.
We did. That was like an anime style. Her drawing, was fantastic.
And it's like there's this core group of friends who laugh,
friends who love each other,
and are there for each other. And there's we're going to sneak out and go to a co-ed party. Our parents are going to kill us. Like that type of talk. Right. And man,
and the one guy they didn't like
becomes their best friend.
That he becomes their best friend because he loves that. They wanted to go see a boy band.
Four Town.
And they're Four Town, but there are 5 of them. That doesn't even make sense. There are 5 of them, but it's called Four Town.
And so part of it is my mom doesn't understand the things that I think are important. So am I important? Like it was a lot of
right.
Like, man, I think there are a lot of really beautiful.
I don't mean to poo-poo on your Wheaties. I don't mean that.
And I don't think that you are, because and I do think that there are some things that, like, I don't think sneaking out is okay. I don't think lying to your parents is okay. Do I think teenage girls and teenage boys do that?
Do it?
Yes.
All the time.
All the time.
Absolutely. It would be dumb not to think that you lied to me.
I mean, I'm not good at it. I told on myself.
I'm not good at it.
I'm not. I mean, I'm not good at it, and I told on myself.
No. No.
But
yeah.
I mean, I think we can get bogged down on, she said the word sexy or the word crap, and she doesn't trust
or
her
OMG all the time.
And like she does this. I'm like, yeah, like, yes. So sit down with your kid and have a conversation about how that's inappropriate.
Well, and if you watch it with a boy, there's a 15-second spiel where they name every feminine hygiene product they make, like every way it comes. It was so funny.
Maybe that's a good thing for your little boy to learn and to know. That way he's not a turd to the girls.
I'm not saying it's not.
Like, I think it's a beautiful opportunity. Do I think every person should watch this movie? No. Part of it being rated PG is parents use their guidance. And
that's what I told I had told the ladies I work with, because I started watching, I was like, I don't like the character. Then I went back and I told them today, I was like, I love this movie. It was really good. And they were like, I think I'll watch it first and then watch it.
Yeah.
And I was like, perfect.
I think that's wise, because not everything is for everyone. Something that you and Mom taught me about very young was filter and knowing what to and to not watch, what to and to not, like media that is good for me and that is bad for me, that sticks with me or doesn't stick with me. And be that for your kids, because they're not grown enough to do it themselves. Their brain's literally not developed enough, which is why it's PG. So decide if it's something that you want to talk about. And if you don't want to talk about, then you don't have to watch it.
This is like you said, this is a good way to talk about becoming a teenage girl with your daughter. Sit down, watch this together, and talk about it afterwards. Just don't become the mother, I mean, and it's typical Pixar. There's a great big happy moment at the end.
The part where the big spoiler, the part where they're in like the dream, the like ethereal plane, and she finds her mom.
Oh, and she's crying. A little girl.
And she's a little girl, and so she gets to sit and see her mom cry and be like, "Hey, just because I don't want to be like you doesn't mean I don't love you. Doesn't mean I don't want to spend time with you. It just means I want to be different."
Did you catch her panda hurt her mother?
Yeah.
Her mom's scar.
Her mom has the scar.
Gave the scar.
Yeah.
That's why her dad had said she was really big. And it's like, I told you she was big. Her panda was.
Her panda's huge.
So listen,
because her feelings are so big, and she's not allowed to share them with her family.
To share. Yes, exactly.
And when you're not allowed to share your emotions with your family, and you feel they get really big, grow. And then they explode like a soda pop head. I have a lot of therapy feelings about this. I also have a lot of let little girls like be who they are feelings about this. I don't know. Is it the most perfect movie? No. Do I think it's an excellent movie? Yes.
Well, it's like I said with the Mitchells and versus the Machines. That's a great movie to sit down and watch and then talk about the things that they talk about in it with your family. There are some good movies like that. There are some movies that you just watch and just go, oh, that's just awesome.
That was fun.
And then there's ones like, but like you said, there were cringy parts, not that the part that just made me uncomfortable. And the part that made me uncomfortable was the mom. That's the only thing. I literally turned it off.
Places, I paused it and had to take a beat. And you saying that you didn't like this little girl, I think is funny, because
No.
Very beginning.
I didn't like her from the very beginning. I thought she was annoying, but after I sat back and rewatched it, I thought, oh yeah, she's awesome. I loved it.
It just it felt very true to like, I mean, in no way did I live in Canada and I'm a white girl. And like she's riding the bus and is pretending like she's like working on the bus on her way to school and is like, I know everything now and I'm a grown up and I do this and that. Like it feels like that when you're 13. Are you kidding me?
Maybe so. I don't know.
It does.
So what do I know? I'm an old fart. I'm an old fart.
It felt like that when I was 13.
13 was in 1922, back during the Great Dust Bowl. That's when I was 13.
I remember feeling like that. I remember feeling like, I don't need your help. I got this.
I understand. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then she learned she does.
And I loved how she learned how to use her panda. At the end, jumping over the buildings, like
it was
at
phenomenal.
The very beginning when she's the panda, she's destroying everything. And at the end, she's like running and like she could change in and out and use that use her regular body and her panda body to make the move. I love that. Here's the deal. Hold on. There is a person called the Red Panda. And she does tricks in the middle of NBA and NCAA basketball games.
No way.
She is on a unicycle that's like about, I don't know, 8 feet tall.
No way.
And puts bowls on her feet and then, look her up. And then kicks these bowls up and catches them on her head on a unicycle.
Dang.
Like, that's amazing.
That's talent, ladies and gentlemen.
So every time I see Red Panda, I'm like, wait, is this a movie about that lady with the bowls on the unicycle during basketball games? But anyway.
I don't know. I'd give it 5 out of 5.
Would you?
I would. You'd give it what?
No, well, here's the issue I have. I thought, this is great. I love this movie. I turned it off and I went into the living room where Mom was working on stuff. And she had Up on the TV. And then my heart just sank to the bottom of my stomach and went, oh, Up is so good.
Up is so good.
And I was like, oh, there's Russell or whatever that little boy's name. And I was like,
Russell.
I wanted to, and Kevin.
That's not what this movie was.
And it's not. But I was thinking, Pixar movies have changed. They are different. And they're for different movies or for different people.
Yeah.
So this movie, like you said, isn't for everyone. I would give it 3.5, 4 pandas. I would, the animation style is great. I thought the acting was great. I love the voice acting. I loved all 4 of her friends.
Her friends were awesome.
Got me was the one girl reminded me so much of the girl in Despicable Me who wanted a unicorn.
Yes.
It's so fluffy. She goes, just let me hug you. I just want to hug you as a panda. I love that one.
The thing that killed me was Miriam was called Mir. I was like, hey,
yes,
it's my sister. There she is.
I know. They called her Mir. I don't like that girl. I don't trust her. I was like, what? And there wasn't nothing. All of her friends were great. Nothing to not like about them.
That's because they were different.
They were all different. They all had their own style, and they all were cool. I thought that was a great friend.
It was very, man. I just something that I saw. It was a description about how movies have changed, which I think is very true. And it's true about like what you said as well. That in the 90s, the villain was the villain. Like the villain is Gaston. The end. And in the 2000s, the villain was, who is the villain? The villain's Mother Gothel. Or the villain's that guy with the dogs. He's actually bad. Like, right? The villain is.
Who is it?
And now the villain is like generational trauma and the family rules that keep us down. Or like stuff like
even the bad guy in this becomes a good guy.
Yeah. And she's not bad. She's doing the best she can.
No. I'm talking about the dude.
Oh.
The punk.
I thought you were talking about the mom.
No Tylers. No Tylers.
No Tylers. LOL.
Oh, that was funny.
But,
all right, guys. So there you go. You've heard it from Sis and Big Pops. We both like the movie. We think this is a great movie to watch. Maybe you should watch it before you let your children watch it.
Depending on developmental stage and how much conversations you want to have.
Yeah, because some of y'all are afraid to have those conversations. We talk about them freely. Peace out, yo. And we might get embarrassed on occasion. I don't know. I don't know why we're peace out, yo came from.
Like, we're not peace out, yo people, Dad.
No, we're not.
LOL.
We're like, come on in. Let's talk about it. We love you.
Hey, friends. Well, we are thankful for you. Thanks for hanging out with us on our little corner of the internet.
Yeah.
Our art is created by Nate Turner. He made that himself on Microsoft Paint. It's phenomenal. Thanks for doing that for us, bud. Our intro music was composed and performed by Brockville Nason. You can check him out anywhere you listen or stream music.
He's got new stuff going on.
Yeah, he's got some cool stuff. So check him out.
I know on the Instagram and stuff, he does put stuff on there. So,
I edit and upload our podcast episodes, and Dear Papa does our
Dad
YouTube
never
page.
Puts anything on YouTube.
You should put things on YouTube because there are people who only watch our podcast on YouTube.
There's one person.
Yeah, it's Trevin's dad.
All right. Yeah, I haven't put any stuff on there in a long time. So stupid, so stinking busy. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm getting ready for this comic convention. So
hey, you're gonna kill it.
I know it. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Hey,
anywho,
what is that? Should we tell
love you guys.
So they can come check you out? Are we gonna have a podcast before that?
Yeah, come.
We might not.
Do it next Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah. Tell the people, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. So Lexington Comic Con, I'm going to be there that weekend. It's like the 24th through the 27th. Plus, if you're there on Sunday, I will have a nerd church at 10 in the morning.
Woo! Nerd church.
And it's going to be like a small group type setting. And we're going to talk about being adopted into the family.
Hey.
Batman. We're going to talk about the spiritual aspects of Batman. What about it?
Spiritual aspects.
Yeah. Anyway, there you go, peeps. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Yes.
We look forward to spending time with you. And now we are in your ear balls or whatever. Anyway.
Well,
and this we can never do together.
What are we going to do, Dad? We're going to catch them on the
flippity flop.
There, what?
We did again.
Did we? No, we killed it.
I don't think so.
Oh, I think we did. Okay.
So.
Bye, friends.
So. We'll have to listen to it. Bye, guys.